at least a month with your teacher, or a month available time. They say they don't use the curve. Yes, CXC says that they don't use no curve or no shifting grade system. That is.
Yeah.
But I
Who was first by? Second. Gloria, you come second. Good try. Yeah, boy, tonight I had an update earlier on this thing with CXC. Let me just get the chat a little neater. Chat color, I need to make sure the size is correct. And the outline smaller and the size bigger. Yeah, look at like it on shirt one time. Channel names, font size 23. Yeah, that should be correct there. Yeah, everybody on the inside. What else going on there, boy? That's updating the chat size. So you should see all the names a little bigger. Nah, but kind of small still. Oh, you could read that? Nah, I doubt. I'll make the font size a little bigger. There you get to like about 30 and 30 for the size of your name. Alright. Yeah, look at share it one time. I have an article from the Newsday, boy, of Trinidad and Tobago. Alright, yeah, let's say for that. I'm on say 19th, yes? Alright, so let me tell you a little going on with this. Olish. Like it's on share the live link, right? Ooh. Alright, so let me show you this article here. Here's the article. The article says, let me zoom in. You can see. Everybody can see? The Minister of Education, Antonio Garcia, is expected to meet with the CARICOM Secretariat and other regional ministers of education to decide the way forward with CXC examinations. The virtual meeting scheduled for Friday comes after rounds of deliberation in light of the restrictions in place to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. So, the ministry said in a release it was aware of the concerns shared by parents, teachers, and students, and these concerns were tabled during this meeting. Well, I know they are aware of the concerns shared by the Ministry of Education. I ain't too sure of the concern about the students, but, long story short, let me see. It added, however, that there was misinformation circulating about the administration of the CXC examination, which has amounted to confusion. Well, who caused that confusion? Like, the misinformation about circulating about the administration of CXC examination, nobody else causing that but them, because 1 minute they tell you that is only multiple choice and yes B, then they will say it's multiple the multiple choice is online only, and then the online could be it could be offline online, meaning you do it on a computer and upload it after, or then it could be online where you have to be connected to the internet. So real speculation had to go on. So the misinformation are circulating. Well, I guess that's partially part of their fault. And said any communication in the direction of the Ministry of Education heading into the COVID-19 pandemic will be available on the official channels. Alright, cool. These should be the only points of reference to use of valid information. Cool. Garcia had previously said the government is not in favor of the format proposed by CXC for multiple choice papers, and school-based assessment as the only form of testing for this year, right? And exams. So this is literally what is going to happen on Friday. And on Friday, this is exactly what we want. So what we want is we want the people to talk about what is going to affect the students. And what is going to affect the students is, who's also so well, me and CXC going to fall out and real push paper ones though, the paper two is better. I just know, I'm gonna get a white background for this, I'm gonna get a background. So that I can see the text properly. Image. Yeah, well, me and CXC gonna fall out because I will push paper ones, though the paper ones is the better choice for the exam. Yeah, Gloria, you're kinda correct there. Was this person to see if you get something about the meeting Friday and sneak in some or something? You want to sneak in, yes? How are you going to sneak in? All you really feel it is, I would just Zoom bomb them. I want to write my exam and get over with. I feel it totally. Like, that's clearly making sense, because the way how this thing running, if I was a child, I would have anxiety, because it's clear. Alright, I think I get the background there now. Let me see if I get the background. No, background go down. Right, good, yeah. Right, so we should be seeing properly there now. CXC probably gonna real defend paper one. Well, in the meeting, right, so basically what we're talking about this meeting here, right? So this meeting here is the Ministry of Education, Anthony Garcia. He's gonna meet with the CARICOM Secretariat. CARICOM Secretariat means that, okay, CARICOM is really all the countries in, those of you who just joined the live, make sure and like it, please, so I could explain this to more people. Right, so give it a like, and all you're gonna be on the inside. Yeah, so what he was saying was, they're going to meet with CXC and they're going to discuss with other regional ministers of education. So this is what I was explaining last week with respect to the paper twos and with respect to the drama that's going on. It's going to have a little clash, and the clash is going to be a problem depending on which country you're from. So let me take Trinidad for instance, because I'm from Trinidad, right? I'll get to all the comments just now. Let's say Trinidad is handling the COVID-19 okay. They rated by Oxford as being the best prepared to come out of the lockdown and all that kind of cool stuff. So Trinidad has a good chance of being ready for exams by July. They have a real good chance. However, if every other country is not able to, then CXC has to cater for every single country. So when these people meet, look at it here. When these people meet together, you're not just going to have Trinidad meeting. You're going to have Trinidad, Jamaica, Guyana, Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and Grenadines, wherever else does do CXC. All of them going to meet. And when they meet now, they're going to have to deal with everybody's point of view. So here's a little sample of what's going to happen in the meeting. Minister Garcia will sit down and be like, listen, in Trinidad, we want the paper twos. The Minister of Education in Jamaica will sit down and be like, right now, we don't even know if we could have exams. The minister in Barbados will say, well, yeah, we get our lockdown down, but we kind of not too happy with the way that the teachers are being treated and all that kind of stuff. So, what to do? And CARICOM the CARICOM Secretariat, which is basically the board of members that go and deal with this situation, they're going to have to now come up with a way forward and say, all right, cool. CXC, we understand your point of view. Ministry of Education, we understand your point of view. Trinidad, we understand your point of view. Jamaica, we understand your point of view, blah, blah, blah. And all of them going to have to come together with a decision, which is cool because it's nice that they're having a meeting. But there are two things that are real important in that meeting. Right? Let me tell you two things that are real important in that meeting. Two things that are real important in that meeting is, one, somebody needs to hold CXC accountable for why they are not doing the paper twos anymore. I just think that that's one of the most important things right now. Why have they decided, no, we're not going to do the paper twos? There is no more logical reason for the paper twos to not be there, because time is not your issue anymore, because you're willing to go all the way to September and October and November with your exams if things get bad. So what happened between January and now that all of a sudden all the paper twos disappear? All of a sudden all the paper twos not available anymore. What, did the printer stop printing? Like, no. Who's that there? Juan Andres, right. Due to the current pandemic, you completely understand the reason for paper one only. Okay, cool. The reason that they were trying to do paper one only is because they were trying to get the results to come out in August as normal. But obviously the results can't come out in August as normal anymore. So therefore, the reason that the paper ones were going to be done only was for time. But time is not a factor anymore. So the question is, why are the paper twos not being considered again? That's the problem. So, pandemic aside, the issue would have been, we need to get done in August because the universities need to get this, the schools need to get this back. All the schools are going to open back in September. All the people that currently in, and all the children who going to have to get their results or whatnot to go to school in September or whatever, or go to university, they're going to get the same kind of problem. So, why are they not giving the paper twos? Time is no longer the issue. If you're going and say, because we could mark the multiple choice faster, then okay, cool. Then why are you collecting all the SBAs? Because collecting all the SBAs means you're going to have to get more teachers anyhow. So, if I was in that meeting on Friday, that the first question I'm going to ask, somebody tell me why paper twos are not even on the table anymore. It's not to say that we have the paper twos, but we just don't want to do it. Look, our next person asks a question here. What about reset candidates? How will they use the SBA marks? Yeah, that's serious. If you're a reset candidate and they just take your SBA mark from last year, then what's the standard that our SBA being marked at? If this year they're collecting all the SBAs, last year they didn't collect all the SBAs, so they're using the SBA marks. That's a problem. That's a problem. So, my first question for this meeting here, for those of you that now join the live, make sure you like it. Thanks. Please and thanks. And the ministers of education are going to have a meeting with CARICOM on CXC, and that meeting is going to be scheduled for Friday. Right? So in that meeting, everybody going to sit down and they're going to talk. But when they talk, what's going to happen? So let me see what they say. Honestly, from the start, the people want to prepare for paper two, so I don't see why we can't write paper twos. I don't see why we can't write paper twos either. The same hour and a half that again, you're asking a child to come into a classroom to write a paper two. That same hour and a half could stretch to 2 hours, 2.5 hours, because you don't get them in the school already. So let's let them sit down and write a paper two instead of doing a multiple choice. One, it has two things. One, you're going to have a much greater span of information to mark. So it wouldn't be a one-to-one marking. So your paper two will be like out about 100 and something. So if you even break that down to like 50% of your total mark, you'll have a better gauge and you'll have more flex room in order to differentiate who's better than the other. And with the multiple choice, you can't really differentiate who's better than the other when you have 60 questions only. And that's not much. But the question is, why the paper twos are no longer even being talked about? Why does it seem like CXC has lost the paper twos in some lagoon that buried under some ship with alligators blocking it or something, that they can't even access the paper twos anymore? Because ever since the COVID-19, it was just like, all right, cool, paper twos, out of sight, out of mind. We don't even don't even talk about paper twos again. Tell them it do exist, because obviously we lost them in the Bermuda Triangle. That was going on there. I rather write paper one and be safe. Boy, if you write paper one and you mess up 2 questions in a multiple choice, you could go from like a 2 to a 4, because we don't know how it's gonna be weighted. Depending on how it weighted. Depending on how it weighted. If they throw 4 curveball questions in a multiple choice and you don't know it, you could end up failing an exam because the multiple choice is the be all and end all. Whereas with a paper 2, where you could write your answer and where you could kind of make sense, you'll be able to fight for more marks, and your mistake is not going to be penalized as much, which is one of the reasons why you have so much different ways of marking, because if you don't do good in one of them, you'll be able to pick back up. Well, I understand, but still it's more fair to do paper 2s. As Sue says, they aren't giving any paper 2s anymore. Yeah. To September. What about reset candidates? Right, so next thing, they burn the paper 2 already. Burn the paper 2? That would be very tragic if they burn the paper 2s. I hope they don't. I hope they push it back and make it paper 1 and paper 2. Yeah, they neglected paper 2s. Imagine what them do when COVID-20 come around. Success. I just want them to get the exam out of the way. CXC playing mind games. With respect to the paper 2, yeah, they're playing mind games. I find they're playing mind games. The next thing that's going to get through thing. True, say that's very factual. I say write all exams in January. The paper 2 is the most important paper in the exams. Plus, safety is on the line. I hope they burn math paper 2. Well, you could hope that, sir, but hoping that they burn math paper 2 not really going to make any sense. Good night. Somebody do me a favor and just share this in the student hub in the news or the lobby, so that people could come in and have their say. Again, for those of you that just joined, and don't forget, close up the chat quick, like the video, and then come back in the chat, right? Because I'm going to give you point number 2 now. Point number 2 is the biggest problem that we have, that everybody have, is COVID-19. COVID-19 is definitely the enemy. CXC is not the enemy, not so much the enemy. It's just that they between a rock and a hard place. I just want somebody to hold them accountable for not having the paper 2s. If you all saw Monday, I pop a video about holding examining bodies accountable, so you could understand how it works and you could understand why it wouldn't make sense. But the biggest enemy that we have is really COVID-19. COVID-19 is going to be the most important thing that they talk about in this meeting. Let me see if I pull it back up for you. Just to remind you, there will be a meeting with CARICOM and on CXC on Friday. That is Friday the 8th, right? Friday the 8th of May is going to have a meeting with all the ministers of education and the CARICOM regional secretariat. That means CARICOM has handled things like trade and export and taxes and tourism and all kind of things to do with how the economy works within Caribbean. In the Caribbean, it's like the Caribbean, United States of the Caribbean, right? Basically, if there was a United Islands of the Caribbean, it would be called CARICOM. So these CARICOM people are going to come together to decide on our way forward. And my first argument is the first thing that I want to know, even though that wouldn't be the most important thing on the agenda, would be why we don't have paper 2s anymore. The second thing that will be on the agenda is COVID-19. And somebody said, go and take a hacking course and mash up that meeting. Yeah, okay, cool. You do that. Just don't tell them I sent you, right? Could you get information on that after the meeting? Well, the thing is, after that meeting, the only person that will be able to come and talk about that is Minister Garcia himself. He's the only person that will be able to come and speak about what is happening there. I'm not too sure what would happen if he comes back. He's probably going to have to take the information to Parliament. When he takes the information to Parliament, to Cabinet, any cabinet, they will talk about it, and then they will have to decide what they're going to do. And then most likely he'll be able to make an announcement to Trinidad and Tobago about what is going to happen. But I just thinking somebody need to go in that meeting and ask the hard question about the paper twos. Because most likely what will happen in the meeting is Jamaica will say, listen, it had no way we could carry children back out to school because our COVID cases not under control, and it will be very, very irresponsible of us to put them out there. Therefore, they're going to basically take up most of the meeting time. Most of the meeting time going to be how you handling your COVID, how you handling your COVID, how you handling your COVID, how you going by you, how you going there, how you going there. And then eventually Jamaica will say, no, we cannot. And you can't get Jamaica, you can't let Jamaica be outcasted, because Jamaica have the most amount of people as do CSEC. I think about maybe 30 to 40% of the people in that do CXC on a yearly basis from Jamaica. Next highest will be Trinidad, next highest will be Guyana, then Guyana, Barbados, right? Based on the statistics, that's all right. So could you do some EDPM paper 1? Oh yeah, I could do that for if it rounds up our crew big enough, I will work out something for you. I don't, when you see sometimes students ask for papers, and then I do the papers, and then like 2 people come in the live, 3 people come in the live, then when you're asking for comments, nobody commenting and all that kind of thing. So if you message me on Instagram at MakeItSimpleTT and let me know, and once it rounds up the crew, I go organize the live and we do some EDPM easily. Let's send Cohen to ask them. Now Cohen, I didn't really like Cohen, you know, like CXC doesn't really like Cohen Springer. I mean, they're happy that he teaches very good, but they may not like him too well. I'll pay for his plane ticket. Scotty, there are no planes leaving any country right now, unless you have a private jet. COVID 2020 going to mash them up. Watch my word. Deepak, just imagine another virus hit, and the only way to survive is if you had COVID-19. All you we mashing up that paper, says our teacher, you know. So all countries have to be COVID contained before doing exams. Yeah, Jared, that'll be more than likely that'll be the criteria to determine if they could send the Form 5s out to do the exam. You had to have it contained. If your curve's still going up, then you have it contained. If your curve flatten and you at least get through what they call the first wave, then most likely they will do they will let the Form 5s go out and do the exams. So they're already asking to confirm emails. What emails are you talking about, boy? CXC emails? Who's that? Brandon Butcher? Tell me more what I don't know what you're talking about. Scotty, it's only paper 1s that Cohen best friend CXC. So would CXC officials be in the meeting? Yeah, most likely we'll have CXC officials there. The Ministry of Education, Anthony Garcia, is expected to meet with the CARICOM Secretariat and other regional ministers of education to decide with CXC examinations. So is more ministers of education going to meet? So if it's ministers of education going to meet, then I don't know if they might have a whole complement of CXC people there. They might just have like maybe a representative or 2, and the representative will be able to say, hey, XYZ is the case, such and such, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. But the ministers of education, they are the ones that are going to meet, and that's a good thing, because now the ministers of education can have a common head with respect to how they're going to ask CXC or force CXC to hold themselves accountable. Because if all the ministers of education come out and say no, we want paper 2s because we want our exam to be correct, then CXC will have to say, oh yeah, we'll just dive in the lagoon where we bury all the paper 2s in that treasure chest and take them back out for you all, because obviously we need to act like they exist again. Because right now, if you listen to any CXC chatter, any webinar, anything like that, it's just basically paper 2 is not even mentioned. It's not even a side topic. It's not even like you don't even say it underneath your breath and laugh. I can say that so CXC asking to verify emails. What emails are you talking about, by? I think they're gearing up for the e-testing, I believe. Yeah, they could gear up for the e-testing as much as they want, but most schools can't do the e-testing. They're gonna have to do the they're gonna have to get the paper to shade. That's a fact. And they literally said that if your school can't do e-testing, they're gonna have to shade. And I can tell you, Braille schools in Trinidad can't do that e-testing for sure. Only a few schools, some small schools and some smaller islands, they are the ones that get that got what's called this word? They are the ones that got were like the guinea pigs, and that didn't work out too well. Next one, okay, they can scan the paper and upload it. Scan what paper and upload it? You talking about what? Scan the paper too and upload it? Aaron Scott? I don't think that making sense. Jared, I don't think that's a problem because since labs are done on material, yeah, we gotta shade it. How will they determine your profile grades with only paper 1? Well, the paper 1 is normally broken up into the different sections of your so how your profile usually works is that your profile would have the first 30 questions in a multiple choice will be for the first profile, so you could get an A there. The next 15 and the next 15 would be for the other 2 profiles. So I'll check the screenshot that I send the oh, not watching it. This message confirm your email by clicking. Oh yeah, that's most likely an automatic email that was sent out at this point in time. The email confirmation that would have been sent out. That was set to happen. It's not that they're doing that only because it's online. That's just for when it's time for you to get your grades. They will send a link to your email address or something. Right, so I'll explain how will they determine your profile grades. Right, so your profile grades, the first 30 questions will be for the first profile, the next 15 next profile, next 15 the next profile. Same thing as do with paper 2. The first section of your paper will be for whatever profile. The next section will be for another profile, next one will be for another profile. So with paper 1s, they could still get a profile. But as I said, the profile may be sketch. True, my Guyana can't do that. Save Grenada and St. Lucia doing e-testing, then CXC will continue paper 1 and SBA, just thinking. Now Grenada and St. Lucia not really that big in terms of the numbers. I tell you, if Jamaica and Trinidad say we want paper 2s, that it had nothing CXC could do after that, because they can't turn down Trinidad and Jamaica because they are the largest amount, and CXC is a business. CXC needs money to run. If Trinidad paying money and Jamaica paying money, and both of them are your largest clients, you don't want to get your largest clients vexed. So they were talking about SBA questions and how are they submitting SBA that were not done on hard copy. All SBAs just go up soft copy now. For the past, I don't know, few years, everybody SBAs get upload via upload now. Yes, upload the PDF. For example, labs. Oh, the labs just get moderated by somebody coming into the school. So somebody comes to the school and looks at the actual lab books, and they will upload the marks. So you don't have to worry about that. I think they're marking the SBA since there would be no paper 2. Oh yeah, all the SBAs had to get marked here. They requested from teachers that all SBAs have to be sent up now. Every single SBA had to go up for them to mark, which I think should have, 1, always been done, and 2, if you're sending up every single SBA, then you're going to need plenty of teachers to mark those SBAs. So you should just let those teachers mark the paper 2s. I just saying. CXC loves to bring things that aren't on the syllabus. I wouldn't say they like to bring things that aren't on the syllabus. I would say that they like to bring things on the syllabus that are very grey, or some of the things, like one of the things on the syllabus will be how to make an egg, and then the question that you'll get is how to make a poached egg, and then the next question will be how do you make eggs Benedict, and then the teachers will be like, well, just ask how to make an egg, I just teach them that egg does come from a chicken, and they will always exploit the grey areas to make sure you don't know, well, to see how far you really will go or something like that. I didn't get an email hard through, especially for ESB. I don't think you have to worry about that. So when would we get our certificate for January 2020 results? I think they sent out an update earlier in the year about the January certificates. They suspend that indefinitely. So if you're gonna apply for a job, you gotta take a screenshot and carry it from or something. So right, so those of y'all that didn't like, just close the chat off and like it, like the video. I'm gonna go back through this again. So is it likely that we will still get paper 2, sir? The way our Minister Garcia was sounding, I think that he's going to fight it. And the fact that he's going to go to a meeting, let me show you again. According to the Newsday of Trinidad and Tobago, he's going to meet with the other regional ministers of education. When you meet with the other ministers of regional education, you're meeting with every minister of education, and you're going to tell those ministers of education, here's what I feel, or here's what I think. This is what I believe should happen, and that kind of stuff. And I could see him being able to either argue or convince the other ministers of education that, hey, we need to go with a unified head to CXC and say that we want the paper 2s. If we do that, then it might help the situation and force them to answer the hard question, which is, where the paper 2s gone? The paper 2s seem to have disappeared into thin air, and nobody knows why. It's like the paper 2s gone absent, they get abducted by aliens or some kind of thing. Nobody knows where the paper 2s are. You see, he's from Trinidad, can't win us in an argument. I don't know, maybe it will be more public exposure than marking paper 2, since it's a hard copy and SP is a soft copy. No marking papers is done online. Nobody has actually physically marked papers anymore. All paper 2s are marked online, and you just kind of click and put a red X or a green tick or a red X and put the marks, and it's all be done on a computer now. So it could never be an issue of public exposure. They don't have teachers gathering in a room. There's actually have teachers gathering in a room to mark SBAs in some cases. So you'll think they mark the SBAs while we're waiting for the COVID cases to calm down, then we'll write the paper 1s when it calms down. Nah. COVID calming down is very subjective. You can't say, well, alright, we'll mark the SBAs now and hopefully next month the COVID calm down, because COVID could calm down whenever it feel like it now. So the best thing for them to do will be most likely wait for COVID to calm down and then take the little chance that they get in between and be like, all right, cool, let me get all the exams done now, and then when they get locked down again, because most likely we'll have like a second wave. So when it has a second wave, then you throw all the school children back home again, and then you mark again. So exams next year, Brandon. The way how Jamaica going right now, exams, I doubt it will be in July. I doubt. I can't see it. I can't see Jamaica getting COVID under control within the next month, so that they'll be able to go ahead with the exams. Because remember, they have to announce the official date for exams when they show it could be done. If they announce the official date for exams less than a month before the exams, then that will be bad for the students. So they have to come up with an answer and know the answer a month in advance. So July, I don't know if they'll come with an official date, because that provisional timetable is still provisional. It could change again. If CXC demands paper 1, what will happen? Jared, CXC can't demand paper 1. I'm going to paste a link to when we done here, I'm going to paste a link to a video, right? And that video that I did is to explain how paper 2s work. I mean how examining bodies work. And you'll realize that CXC really can't demand anything, because CXC is a seller of an exam and we are a buyer. So because we are the buyers, they can't demand that we do paper 2s. It's our money. That's kind of like, KFC demanding that they give you a wing. When you say, no, I don't want a wing, I want a bucket, and then KFC decide, no, I'm going to give you an 8-piece. And they'd be like, no, I'm paying you for a bucket. And then KFC says, no, you're getting an 8-piece because I given you an 8-piece. you wouldn't buy from KFC ever again. So CXC can't demand that we do paper ones. That would be very, very, very bad. Do you think they'll make us bring our own devices to do the e-testing on the Safe Exam browser? Nope. I think that they will just be like, no, we can't do e-testing. Bring the paper, please. Let the children and them shade. So do all the Caribbean countries have to do the exam at the same time, or some countries do it before others? Nah, everybody have to do it at the exact same time. Because what will happen if they don't do it at the same time, somebody in, let me say somebody in Trinidad will do the exam 1 hour before and then text somebody in Jamaica who gonna do the exam an hour later and tell them what they saw in the exam now when they come out. So you could do your exam, finish quick, tell them you want to go in the toilet, you hand out your paper and you run outside, and then you text the people who gonna do the exam an hour later or in another country, or 3 hours later or a day later in another country, and that will cause a big problem in terms of transparency, or no, honesty, cheating basically. Not physically marking, but shipping, which is public exposure, and plus delivering it to the institution, which is more public exposure, whilst SPAs can be sent straight to their facilities. There's the person arguing about public exposure with respect to the shipping. Well, they're going to have to ship the paper ones to the schools, you know. Some of the schools will be able to do the paper ones online, which will be cool, but a lot of them are not going to be able to. And CXC said that they're going to offer the paper ones written if you need to. And I could see about 50% of the Caribbean, maybe not, I don't know all the percentages, but still need to get the physical paper shipped to them. And if the physical paper need to get shipped to them, then they need to get filled out by a human and shipped back to them. So exposure is not an issue. Because the same way they will get exposed to ship them paper ones, the same way they will get exposed to ship the paper twos. It's not really going to be that much a big issue. Aaron Scott, producer, suppliers, and consumers. Yeah, CXC is a producer and supplier, and we are the consumer. And if they decide that they want to give us a product that we don't want, we could say no. We could. Do you think the PPR right? We have e-testing because I remember the minister is saying no, we're not having e-testing in Trinidad for most of the schools. There's not one school I know in Trinidad who's going to do e-testing. If there is one, please let me know. Do you think the probability of getting a grade 1 increase or decrease now that we have paper 1? That's up to how they structure the weighting of the papers. The probability could either decrease badly, stay the same, or increase greatly. And that is up to them to do the maths. But I will say that it's a lot harder to differentiate the skills of a student in a paper 1 than in a paper 2. It's a lot harder to differentiate the skills. So I think most countries agree with CXC, just some countries giving trouble. No, I don't think most countries agree with CXC. That's why they're going to have a meeting. Like, to say that most countries agree with CXC, why are they having a meeting then? Like, why they have this meeting that's being publicized that they're going to have a meeting? It's obviously because they don't agree and they need to get to some sort of consensus. Aaron Scott, yeah, integrity is the word, They need to satisfy their customers' wants and needs. Yep, that's why there's going to be a meeting. When CXC is going to send out our username and password for e-testing. But as if you're going to do e-testing Kindle Fire, it is not sure that you're going to do e-testing. So you can't ask it when CXC go and send out a username and password. You're not sure that they're going to. Timothy Batiste, imagine the paper 2 is brought back onto the table. How would we write it during the pandemic? The same way you're going to do the multiple choice on paper. Like, they offering the ability to do the multiple choice on paper the exact same way that they're going to send it to a school. They go and figure out where you're going to do it, how you're going to social distance, how you're going to sit down. Same way you do the paper 1, same way you could do the paper 2, because not everybody is able to do e-testing. So if you're going to have physical papers being sent to do the physical multiple choice, then you might as well send the physical paper 2s. It's really that simple. So imagining the paper 2 is brought back onto the table, how would you write it during the pandemic? I just answered that here. So that's basically it. So I'll look out for this meeting here. And that meeting is there, and what right, so I have a new form for class. So how can we see the meeting now? You can't see that meeting, boss. That meeting is for the Ministries of Education only, the Ministers of Education. The Minister of Education is going to be the one that goes there and is going to have to come back to the country and say what is what and who is what and all that kind of thing. Do you think the format is unfair to past year groups? Of course, I think it's unfair. But remember, COVID-19 is the enemy, not CXC. I just find that they don't think. Alright, so all you just remember, I have a new class starting in June 2020 for CSEC for anybody doing exams in 2021. Link me. Check the post out on Instagram. It's 250 TT, 40 US if you're from another country. And just like how we just do YouTube lives and whatnot with our Google Classroom, that's how the classes run. And well, I teach in here, so there's a very strong chance that you may do well in IT if you do this. If you start this class in June and then you write an exam next year, let your Form 4 friends know, or let your cousin and your aunt and all that stuff, and anybody else who doing the exams, let them know that that I have a class coming up. Right, back to the regularly scheduled program. That ad was brought to you by Make It Simple TT. Right, so yeah, boy, yep. The Ministers of Education are going to meet to decide a way forward. When they decide that way forward, you will know what your future is. You will know what your future is. Aaron Scott, I have links in the ministry. I'll send you all a link to the live. Alright, Aaron, you do that. Yeah. Alright, that's it for me. I feel Wednesday night will be a weekly CXC update or something, so when I'm bored, because I'm telling you, these people getting away with our crime if nobody asks any question about our people too. That would be a tragedy, and I ain't good for that. So it was nice, folks. Thank you very much for your time. Go and, well, actually, I am recommending that people go and study right now, because you may not know what's going on. So check me on Instagram tomorrow for Tech Talk Thursday, tomorrow night at 8:30. Instagram at Make It Simple TT. Those of you all who do understand how CXC does, how examining bodies does work, check that video in the link. Make that the last thing I do. Click that link and leave the live. Go and watch that video, and you'll understand why we should hold CXC accountable for not having the paper twos, which is my argument from day one. So we go on there. Later.